Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse, aka BGFH, and I am back for another channel update video. I try to do these maybe once a month, every couple of months nowadays, just to give you guys, a little bit of a look at what's going on the channel, what's been going on, what I'm thinking about doing. Maybe chat about some other random thing or two that's been going on either in my life or in gaming, accessibility, tech, whatever. So anyway, here we go. August 2018. I can't believe it's already August. That's insane. This year is going by so fast. Anyway, the channel is, it's alive and going strong. We're actually, believe it or not, up to 1,171 subscribers right now. So yeah, thanks for the views. Thanks for the subscriptions keep coming in. If you are new to the channel, or if you're just maybe have missed a few videos, I usually upload, or I usually unlock videos for sure every Wednesday and Saturday. And maybe I'll throw in a bonus video, if something really miraculous happens or something. I'll throw something in on a Monday or a Friday or, whatever. And then if I'm doing a really long Let's Play, a couple weeks ago, I just finished off a Let's Play series. The full playlist is up there now for Jazzpunk, the director's cut. And if you are looking for like a funny game, a really bizarre, strange, but funny game, you want to check out Jazzpunk. There are some visual gags, but I try to let you know about those. And everything is, voiced. So it's even, I would say it's a very friendly series for blind low vision users to watch. So I think you guys might, if you're into humor and just really bizarre, weird stuff that it's really hard to explain without just watching the game, check that out. The series for Jazzpunk, the director's cut. I've done a few apps, a few app things here and there, a few games. We took a look at the unveiling of Doom Eternal at QuakeCon last weekend, which I'm really excited for. I hope that comes out in 2019. For what they showed, it looked pretty dang polished, so I would love to see that come out in 2019. I hope it's not a 2020 game, because I love Doom 2016. It looks like they just ramped everything up to 11 or 12 or 15, whatever. It looks crazy. I do find it funny, though, I've seen in the last week since, there are some people that are actually kind of getting all upset because they were offended by, there was that line, I made comment of it in the video too, where there was like this PA announcement as you were going through the city, and they're like, they're trying to basically integrate the demons into their society, this UAC, and it's just this nonsense, ridiculous. And one of the lines was something like, they find the word demons offensive, refer to them as mortally challenged. I thought that was great. I thought that was pretty funny. I poke fun at political correct. Yeah, you want to be nice to people, but I think we've gone a little bit too far as political correctness. Like, you really can't, nowadays you can't say anything without offending somebody. You don't want to be rude, you don't want to use certain terminology, but it's like you literally can't say much of anything without, oh, that was offensive. And, it's like, if somebody wants to refer to me as somebody with a disability, somebody with low vision, somebody who is legally blind, that's fine. That's what I am. Whatever. Illegally sighted, whatever you do. It's not a big deal. It doesn't define me, but if you say that I'm a person with a vision impairment, fine. I'm not going to get offended by that, because it's true. But I just thought that was a really funny thing. There was a couple other lines in there that people are bent out of shape about. I think there was a line in there about, like, Earth being the melting pot of civilization or of society or something, and people are saying, well, they took that to be like a racist thing about immigrants or immigration or something. I'm like, what? Okay. I guess I don't really understand that, but whatever. Nevertheless, I'm looking forward to Doom Eternal. Man, I just want to play that right now. I kind of want to go back and play more Doom 2016, but I have so many other games I need to play. It's not even funny. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's come out on the channel. Like I said, just check out all the recent videos, some of the playlists, and there's a lot more coming. So here's the thing, especially for those who are new, I release videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Sometimes I'll give you guys a bonus video on another day. Could be a Monday, Tuesday, Friday, whatever. I mean, if something really cool comes out that I'm like, oh, I gotta release this like right now because it's awesome. Or just, maybe it's a holiday. Maybe it's just I have a day off and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm in a good mood. Let's do a bonus video. Why not? I'll do that from time to time. If I'm doing a Let's Play series, maybe I'll do every weekday or I'll do a Tuesday, Thursday type of thing. So, I mean, it varies, but you can pretty much always count on a Wednesday, Saturday video. And again, the way I record content is that, I work full time. I'm not getting paid to do this. I work full time, so when I record videos when I'm in the middle of playing a game and I think, oh, this is a fun title that would be worth showing off, or maybe it does something good or bad accessibility wise, or there's just some reason that I think, yeah, people might enjoy watching this game or hardware review or app or whatever it is. So I basically record content when I have time and when I have the motivation to do it. And I record quite a bit, just so, again, I want to keep a regular schedule, because really that's what you need in order to keep people coming back. And I don't want to be in a point where, oh crap, I need to do a video for tomorrow because I don't have anything. But in a way, I kind of have the opposite problem, where I've recorded a bunch of stuff, and you'll probably see a few videos that I've recorded probably a year ago, if not better, or if not longer. And it's, it's nothing bad. It's just like there are some games or some videos that I will mix in, like I said, if they're really timely and I want to release them at a certain time or when I record them, I will. But if it's just a game that I'm going through my immense Steam library or something and I want to play a random game and record it, that can go up anytime. So I do have quite a backlog, and so I might do a few bonus videos in the next month or so. So here's kind of what I'm looking at. It's the middle of August. What is it, like the 17th today? Something like that, I think. Or 18th, something. And I think I'm going to do this for my Saturday video. Recording this on Friday afternoon. Release this on Saturday. I might do a bonus video on Monday of a game that I recorded a long time ago. It's still fun until the very end. It gets really cheap, but you'll see why. Wednesday, I have a video planned. I got an accessible iOS game that I want to cover. One of the few that I've actually was gifted, or I was sent by a developer. They asked if I wanted to cover it on the channel. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll take a look at it. And so I have an accessible game coming for you guys, accessible iOS game on Wednesday. Saturday, I don't really know. We'll figure it out. But in the next, probably the week after, it's the State Fair already here. So I figured, you know what? I have enough content where I've recorded, four to six videos, somewhere in there, of more VR theme park stuff. There's a few kind of cool roller coaster and kind of theme park ride things. So I'm going to add a little bit more during the week of the State Fair up through Labor Day. Figure out the schedule for that, but give you guys a few of the VR theme park attractions. Add some more to that playlist. And I got another little short Let's Play. It'll be a one video Let's Play, but it's a really kind of amusing, kind of a weird office game that I played a while back. I think I'm going to release that during one of our days later in the month where we have this really long and boring staff meeting, so I think that one might be appropriate to throw in some weird office humor for that day. And like I said, here and there, there's a couple of VR videos here and there that I might do like a Tuesday, Thursday thing in the next month or so, where like they're 8-10 minute videos, but they're just these little short VR experiences that might be interesting. And as school starts, I think what I'm going to do, maybe beginning of September, I do want to release a few. There's a couple of very, very cool VR experiences that are educational that I really like. There's one on the International Space Station where literally you're like pulling yourself through it and exploring it in VR. It's pretty awesome. There's one I just recorded part of for the Titanic, exploring the Titanic. And that was a really neat experience. So maybe take a look at that. And I may have a couple of other ones that sort of fit the back-to-school-esque time of year. So, we'll maybe look at doing some of that. The other thing is that there's been several announcements of different accessible, game accessibility things happening. I am going to sit out Madden this year. I covered Madden, 18 last year, I think it was, because it was the first game that really added accessibility stuff. It seems like most of the accessibility is largely the same. The main things that I think that they added, as far as I can tell, is the accessibility menu is basically everywhere. It's on the main menu, it's on the pause menu, it's on the settings menu. It's there. They also have added a spoken menu. Except the only thing is they've only done that for the main menu. So literally the main menu when you start the game, it speaks. You can turn it on where it speaks that content. Now, if they patched in a thing where like, if you arrow through all of the options menus and those spoke, then I might think that would be a substantial enough. That would be a thing that I would really want to cover more in depth. But Madden or any football game like that, it's not something that I'm really going to necessarily purchase every year. If there's something substantial accessibility wise, maybe next year, or if they patch something in maybe later this year, I'll take a look at it. But I would say Madden, if you're lucky, I might get it every 3-4 years. But we've got, Madden is pretty cool. Tomb Raider, the newest Tomb Raider game, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I actually did there was a promo pre-order thing for it. So I pre-ordered the PC version because that is a title that I really do want to look at. They just this last week I saw several posts they actually have a full page on it where there's all kinds of accessibility features, and I'll talk about it in the game video itself, but basically they're adding something that'll be really, really helpful for low vision users. You can turn on, there's different difficulty settings, so it's not just like normal, easy, hard. You actually you can adjust different aspects of gameplay. So do you want easier or harder combat? Do you want easier or harder puzzles? What about traversal or navigation through the environment? If you have it on easier traversal, like you'll have this like really kind of obvious white paint that will guide you to the primary path through the environment. And in a game like that, I've played several titles, like earlier Tomb Raider games, a little bit of Uncharted. There's been several of them, like the Prince of Persia games. It can sometimes be really difficult to be like, especially if you're low vision, like where the heck isn't I'm supposed to go? Like that ledge does not look like it's somewhere that I could jump to, and then it turns out it is. So you have all those types of things. Just to be able to adjust the combat and the puzzles and like the traversal stuff. That sounds really like a great idea. And we saw other, like Way of the Pacifist, be able to adjust. Celeste also was a game that had different difficulties that I've covered on the channel that aren't just your standard easy, medium, and hard. So I definitely want to cover that. It made me a lot more interested in that title, to be honest. So we have that coming out. I have a hardware review. I already sort of teased it if you watched my video for Envision AI. I've got a hardware review that I want to record. I haven't done it yet. But there's a topic I want. It's basically a retro console arcade emulator mini PC thing. And I also want to talk in that video about, just my thoughts on the current state of, emulation and preserving games, and getting into a little bit of that, because I think actually it's an important topic in a few different ways. So I've been playing with that a little bit, the Dreamcade Replay. I want to cover that on the channel soon. And it's a neat little, for what I want it for, it works generally perfectly well. So I'd like to take a look at that. Like I said, I've got all kinds of videos. I'll probably just sneak some older content in here just to unlock some of the really old videos. So if you hear, sometimes I'll say there'll be a game and I'm like, oh, and this just came out as I'm recording this, and like, dude, that was out a year and a half ago. Well, I might have recorded it a year to a year and a half ago. You never know. I mean, I try not to sit on videos super long, but every once in a while, a few fall through the cracks. So we have that. Of course, people seem to like, the Apple videos. I know there's going to be the September keynote sometime in probably early September-ish, where they're gonna announce the new iPhones for sure. Although we pretty much, if you will follow any tech sites, we pretty much know that there's likely going to be 3 models. You got 2 OLED, 1 LCD. You got a big one, a middle one that's LCD, and then you got a little one. Well, a little big one. Because one is like 5.8, 6.1, and then 6.5, I think. And I have mixed feelings, because I want, the 6.5 one I'm actually very intrigued about. I have been testing iOS 12, the beta, the public beta, and it generally works really well. I've tested them. I've been using my iPad Pro with it, and I can tell already, they're talking also new versions of the iPad or iPad Pro this fall. And you can already tell they're getting rid of the home button. That's just where Apple's going. And I think I've started actually using some of the swipe up and swipe down gestures that one would use on an iPhone X on the iPad, because they've added it to the iPad. And I gotta say, the gestures actually aren't that bad. I don't mind them. The main thing that I mourn the loss of is really Touch ID. I just don't see Face ID being nearly as convenient and fast as Touch ID, especially for a voiceover user who you don't have to look at the screen. You just reach over and put your finger on the phone and swipe and tap and do whatever, and you can just leave it on the desk if you want to, or in your coat pocket when it's 40 below. So I don't know. We'll see what I want to do later, but I'm sure I'll have a video for that event. I don't know if Microsoft or Google are going to do some stuff this fall. I know Oculus is going to have their event. I forget if it's September or October this year. I may have some thoughts on that. Maybe they'll announce something really awesome, maybe a successor or some crazy thing for the Rift. I may look at something like that down the road. As of next week, Tuesday, I wish I didn't have to work, because the Shenmue 1 and 2 collection are coming out. Shenmue 1 and 2 are coming out, and I really, really want to play the first Shenmue again. And I will for sure do a spotlight video of that sometime soonish. and I'm really contemplating doing a Let's Play series, at least for Shenmue 1. I like Shenmue 2. It expands on what they did with Shenmue 1, but for some, like, it has more to it, but at the same time, I still think I kind of like Shenmue 1 a little bit better. I just, there's something about just being in Ryu's hometown, and, just you're getting familiar with just this really kind of small but detailed home area. And then in the second game, you're going to all these other different places, like you're going to China and this big tower city thing, and I don't know, it's fine, but for sure I'm thinking about eventually doing maybe a playthrough of the first Shenmue. We'll see. But regardless, definitely want to play them. I've been looking forward to that for a while. Halloween, I do have a couple older videos, couple recent videos. I like to cover some kind of horror-esque type stuff for October. So I'll have to go through and see how many videos I actually have, so I can figure out how I might want to space those through October. And yeah, like I said, it's literally September, October. Man, this year is just going by so fast. What else? Like I said, there'll be some hardware content, I'm sure, hardware reviews, especially if I get any of the things this fall through Apple or anything like that. Got a couple hardware reviews I'm sitting on that I'll release for you guys here in the near future. And I think that's largely kind of what to expect for the channel. So like I said, you probably will see some bonus videos just to get rid of unlock some of my older content that's been recorded quite a while ago. They're still good. They're still good games. They're still good videos. They're still good content. Nothing wrong with them. It's just I recorded them a while back. So that's kind of a quick update for the channel. Really quickly, I just wanted to touch on a couple of quick things. I know a lot of people. There was this whole topic on this last week about where this guy, I forget his actual name, I'm not even going to look it up or say it because the guy does not deserve credit. He doesn't deserve mentioning his name. But I just found the story fascinating. This guy at IGN, 2 weeks ago now, Dead Cells, that's another game that I'm definitely intending to play this weekend. And I will definitely record a spotlight. Maybe even get a mixer going here in the next little while. We'll see. But a couple weeks ago, Dead Cells came out. I did an early access video for it, actually. Cool 2D action platformer sort of thing. And Dead Cells came out. IGN came out with their video review. And there's this small channel, Boomstick Gaming, I think they were called. And he released this video of like, oh yeah, I hate to say this, but like, what do I do? I noticed that, boy, this Boomstick Gaming had released their own review for the game, and then he watched the IGN review and went, oh boy, this is uncannily similar to mine. And he released another video, which I did watch, of they showed his video, and then they showed the IGN video. And, oh boy, yeah, it seemed a little coincidental at first, but the longer it went on, it's like, oh boy, no, this is literally word for word, the sentence structure, and even like the timestamps and the general flow of the review was really similar, too similar to be a coincidence. So, shortly after they really determined that, the guy got fired from IGN. Turns out, Kotaku got involved and was reporting on some of the other stuff that people were also accusing him of plagiarizing. And then he released a sort of apology video, and then shortly thereafter took it down because it really wasn't an apology. It was more of like, I'm sorry this happened, and it was kind of like the tone of like, I'm sorry I got caught. And he was kind of calling out people like, I dare you to find other, I dare you to find other, like, I did not do it. Like, I dare you to find other content that you think I plagiarized. Well, didn't take long. They took up the challenge, and apparently all of his stories now are pulled from IGN. That guy's going to be lucky to find a job in the industry at all, and he's rightfully so. I mean, apparently he's been doing this for a long time, both on his own videos and channel and through IGN. And I gotta say, IGN did a really good job of handling the situation. I know it's kind of the in thing to hate IGN and GameSpot, but because they're the big guys, but I think IGN did a really good job of handling the situation. They fired him when they found out, and then they got rid of his content when they found it's like, oh, it's going to be easier just to get rid of all his content rather than sift through it, because we're determining it's just more and more and more. And the reason that I bring that up is because, like I said, one of the interesting things that he had said in the apology video was that, like, oh, well, I look at other people's reviews and, videos and stuff, and, and that's what everybody does in the industry. They look at other people's content, and they kind of helps them think of their own, what to say or what to write. I'm like, no, it's not. No, that's the point. If you are a reviewer, or even if I'm doing a spotlight video, it's not really a review, but it's coverage of a game. I'm going to give you my opinion on a game, a product, an app. I mean, one of the recent videos, the Envision AI app that I did, I don't hate the app. I think it's a decent start, but I had some constructive criticism for it. And I posted an honest video about what I thought, and it wasn't just my thoughts. I literally demonstrated what worked well and what didn't, what I found could be better. And I actually got, the developer actually saw the video, and we had a short conversation on Twitter about it. They're like, they gave me a couple of tips, and they gave me a couple of, updates about the app, which was fantastic. But they said, we appreciate the video, we appreciate the coverage, and your criticisms are taken into account, and they weren't offended by it. I was being honest. I wasn't being rude about it. But yeah, I mean, and that's like I said, I have the game coming out next Wednesday. The game video next Wednesday I'm going to be doing. I'm not, I put right up front, this game was essentially gifted to me by the developer. I got a coupon code from them. I let you know that right up front, but I also let you know I'm still going to give my honest opinion. I'm not going to go out on the internet and read other people's things and just kind of mishmash a bunch of other stuff together to give my thoughts on it. I mean, no, I want to do it. I want to have integrity. I want to have, if you're bothering to come here to watch any of my videos, these are my thoughts. No, that is absolutely not what reviewers do. They don't go through and watch other people's videos and then formulate their own content based on that. No, that's exactly the opposite of what people do. So I just thought that was sort of interesting. And that's why I kind of brought it up, is how it ties into, what I do. And like I said, I'm always going to be upfront and, upfront about if I get anything. Everything that I buy, everything that I cover on this channel, I have purchased unless I've said otherwise. Maybe a friend gifted me a game or two. I've gotten 1 or 2 games from a developer, but I've made that perfectly clear. And I still will give an honest opinion. But yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to bring that up, just because it was this really shocking thing that, like, you could have somebody, and they didn't know when they hired him. It's like, you can't really blame IGN for the whole fiasco necessarily, and they covered it, they took care of it well. But that was an interesting thing that happened. There was one other really quick thing that I wanted to mention. I talked about the accessible game stuff, like Tomb Raider and all that that's coming. oh, I know when I hit stop, I'm gonna remember, and then I'm like, oh, I can't remember. I cannot remember what. There was one other very quick thing that I wanted to mention for this month. Oh, I should really quickly mention. I earlier this week I did have the opportunity of I did a quick Skype interview. Um, Probably won't see anything for it until sometime early or mid next year. But they're interviewing some people on some thoughts on on game accessibility. What types of things do you find helpful? What do you find troubling? What would you suggest? And what they're actually trying to do is come up with, just like we have the ESRB rating system, E teen, E for everyone, T for teen, M for mature, that kind of a thing. They want to have some kind of like a general accessibility rating system, and now would be the perfect time to really start thinking about that because, again, look at how well accessibility is actually starting to take off, both by consoles and indie developers, and even a couple of AAA developers like EA and Ubisoft. So, they're looking at, what types of things would you like to see, maybe some bullet points on, and how could a developer, or how would you like to see, how do you learn about where games are, if a game is accessible? How do you find out if you can play it and stuff? So I provided a lot of feedback and a lot of suggestions, not just for blind and low vision, but just in general. So, that's another project that I've sort of been working on. Um, so yeah, there's that, and I'm really curious to see. I really want to see how that's going to shape up next year and beyond. So that'll be fun to look forward to. Um, there was one other little thing. It was something to do with. It was something I wanted to comment on with like the game industry or game accessibility or something. I'm going to leave the emulation stuff for the hardware review video. I'm not going to talk about that here. I think this is where we're going to wrap it up because I truthfully can't remember. I cannot remember what it was that I was going to, what I was quickly going to tell you guys. But anyway, a lot of cool stuff coming. Some old, some new, some accessibility stuff, some hardware reviews, some VR, some education, some thrill rides, some, like I said, a little bit of everything. And who knows what else. I am going to try to do, it's been probably over a month now since I've done a Mixer stream. I've just been either busy or too tired to bother when I get home. So, maybe, like I said, maybe if I start playing a little Dead Cells and I really get into it, man, maybe tomorrow or Sunday, maybe we'll do a Mixer stream and upload that archive soon as well. So anyway, that's the update for this month. A lot to look forward to. Keep the subscribes coming. Like the video if you did. You can follow me on Twitter that's what I was going to quickly mention. That's what it was, really quick. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot, and a lot of people have a point. But I've been hearing a lot of people really unhappy or really mad at Twitter, partly because they've removed a lot of their APIs, so like third-party apps can't do push notifications and other things, and that does suck. If you have your favorite Twitter app and then you can't use it anymore, yeah, that does suck. I primarily use my phone and like the native Twitter app. I do use a socializer, although there's still some things that it doesn't support, but I use the socializer through Sero. But then also they just, there's all this drama with there's people just saying, hateful things and racial things, and no, that shouldn't be, tolerated. And Twitter should do more to police, actual really, harmful, hateful things like that. But, everyone's like, oh, everyone should quit Twitter, and like, I hate Twitter now, and it's so bad. The funny thing is like, I have, I mean, knock on wood, but I have not experienced really any of that. I actually find Twitter to be a super helpful tool. And I think ever since I used to passively use Twitter a little bit. But as I started engaging with it more, as I started, every time I do a video, it gets tweeted. Every time, I post some of my random thoughts, or I'll post a link, or retweet other people's links and videos and stuff that I find interesting. But like since I've started really engaging with Twitter, that's actually where I've gotten a lot of my opportunities the last couple of years. I've had excellent conversations about games and game accessibility. I've gotten to do some like I've had developers contact me, about testing their apps or games. I've had people ask me for interviews. I've gotten to communicate in various ways, some of which I can't really talk about. But I've been able to communicate with several people at Microsoft. Like I said, shout out to Ian Hamilton and some of the other accessibility crew that I regularly communicate with there. But I mean, no, are you kidding? I find Twitter to be a very handy, very useful tool. DMing people, direct messaging people, having these Twitter conversations, communicating, communicating directly with developers. I mean, I don't use Facebook really. Twitter's just this short, it used to be 180 characters. Well, I forget what the limit is now, but it's still just a short, convenient way to start a conversation. So, I mean, I feel bad for the people that are experiencing and having a whole bunch of trouble, but like I said, I've had a great experience on Twitter, and I use it more now than I really ever have. So that's the other thing that I wanted to mention. So yeah, I mean, follow me on Twitter at BGFH79. You can follow me on Mixer, mixer.com/BGFH. Like the video if you did. Maybe subscribe. Let other people know. And we'll wrap it up here. And until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll talk to you guys again later.